Welcome to Codex History of Video Games. My name is Tyler Osby.
And I'm Mike Coletta.
And this week, we're going to do a little sort of half discussion, half history of early access games.
Yeah, I had a thought about early access because we'll mention it throughout the episode, but early access can be good, it can be bad, so I thought we'd just discuss it. So I'm calling it early access, the good, the bad, and the vapor. And we're just going to go over 3 examples of early access and how it played out and how it can play out. All right. Now, we started covering this a bit when we did our Minecraft episode as well, because I feel like Minecraft was the original shining star of early access.
Yeah.
Right. They sold like millions of copies of the alpha version before the game even came out.
They sort of showed that, like, hey, you can actually sell an unfinished version of your game as long as you're like upfront and honest, and there are plus sides to doing that, and that can work.
Exactly. So I'm going to cover 3 games, their development stories, and kind of what happened. And to give you some exposition before we start, I'd like to reference, it's kind of cool. So we're going to reference an Ars Technica article that is written actually by former guest of the podcast, Kyle Orland. He wrote the book on Minesweeper, the boss fight book.
Awesome.
He actually wrote a Ars Technica article about Steam's early access program in 2013. And he said the following. I'm going to read this 2-paragraph quote here. So, quote, "Tired of waiting for games to be fully complete and released before you buy them? Wish you could play a game while it's still bug-riddled in development mess? Well, Valve has got you covered with its new early access sales program. In all seriousness, early access is being sold as a way for players to purchase early access games, early access to games they're excited about, and actively take part in the development process. For developers, it's a way to raise money for the game that's not quite complete yet and get a bevy of eager beta testers to help work out bugs before the game is finally released. This is the way games should be made. Trumpets the launch FAQ." End quote. Okay. So that's
friend of the pod, Kyle Orland, which we can say without irony. That's actually true.
Yeah, because he actually did the podcast with us. That's cool. I like to think we're still friends. So I wanted to start with that because I think Kyle shows that even 13 years ago, we were all suspect of early access.
Yeah.
Right. And I actually, this is kind of where where I've been thinking about it, because I remember actually getting back into PC gaming. I bought a pre-built, I want to say in like 2013, 2014, because I was watching a lot of DayZ videos, specifically Frankie on PC in 1080p. That was the channel I watched. I don't think they make videos anymore.
It's got to be 4K now or 8K.
Yeah, it's got to be. Yeah. But I would watch their videos on YouTube and I got like super excited about it. And then I remember actually buying DayZ and playing it. And it was a very different experience than watching some guy on YouTube play it.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. So like, I'm not sure I'm for or against early access necessarily, but I think in the right developer's hands, it can make a masterpiece. And so, but it could also, on the other hand, be used to scam people. So this is definitely a gray area, early access. But let's talk about these examples, and then I'll say these 3 examples and allow you to make a determination. And I actually took a lot of time trying to figure out what order I wanted to do these in, but I'm going to do it in the order of the title. So we're going to talk about the good one first, the bad, and then the vapor. And I know this can greatly influence your opinion, so we're going to come back at the end and talk about all 3.
Okay.
It's kind of the discussion part. Okay.
Okay.
So, and I'm just choosing these off the top of my head. They're not for any specific reason. Like, I didn't find some list online. These are just the 3 examples I thought of that I could use.
These are just the ones that stick out to you.
Yeah. The first example, and other than Minecraft, because Minecraft is not a good example. It's a great example. Yeah. So we're going to do a good example, but it's also a great example. Baldur's Gate 3, because Baldur's Gate 3 was famously in early access development for 3 years. I'll say that again, 3 years. Dang. It was in early access.
That means it was in development even before. That's from early access to launch, right? So that means they had something that they were working on for 3 years. So this game was in development for a long time.
Yeah. And if you don't know, so I actually bought this in early access when it came out. I remember buying it because it was kind of during COVID when early access for this game came out. And I played, it only was the first act of the game and I loved it. And then I told myself I was done playing it until the game came out. I played through Act 1 time, and then I was like, I'm not playing it again because this is early access. I'm going to wait until the game fully comes out. And that's how I wanted to experience it. But I know that I had friends that played 70 hours of that first act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just put so many playthroughs in it. And I think this is beyond a doubt the best example of early access, and we'll talk about why. So first are the numbers, and this is from a site called Vox Booster that appears to aggregate like Bloomberg and other sites, but this just had a bunch of facts. So the game was in early access from October 2020 to August 2023. And the run in early access of Baldur's Gate 3 sold 2.5 million copies.
Wow.
But that's reason number one, it was good. But it wasn't just the money. And this is something I have personal experience with, and why I chose this is Larian would send out regular newsletters called the Larian Gazette that would keep players in the loop on changes and additions and bug fixes to the game. So they actually did the second part of this, which is the developer working with the players. They were very open and transparent, and they communicated and they told people what they were doing. And it felt like you could see the progress in real time. It was so cool. I read the Larian Gazettes. I loved them. And they would also share some like fun stats. So I went through my email, and this is from issue 13 of the Larian Gazette. Okay. So here's some facts. And this is just direct quotes. So everyone knows you can pet the dog in Baldur's Gate 3, but did you know the dog has been petted 400,000 times? Such a good boy deserves that many pets.
Wow.
So Gale has been romanced by 33% of players. Shadowheart came in second, falling in love with 31% of players. And in return, 31% of players also fell in love with Shadowheart. That's just like a nice. And then it said 1.37% of players chose to sleep alone, which is cool too. So they would pull these stats and show them in the Larian Gazette. And I just thought that was such a cool thing that you could see in real time. They're tracking all these numbers on this stuff. And then the other part about this, and I don't know if I've ever actually done this on the podcast, I'm going to quote a tweet, which is something I don't know if I've ever done on the podcast. But Sven Vinke, I believe that's how you say it, the CEO of Larian Studios, and then Thomas Mahler, the CEO of Moon Studios, which developed like Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and they're making a game called No Rest for the Wicked. They had like a Twitter interaction that I wanted to talk about. So I'm just going to read these straight up. So Thomas Mahler says, you know that Baldur's Gate 3 was in early access for 3 years, right? It's true that a lot of developers are abusing the early access model, but games like Baldur's Gate 3 and No Rest for the Wicked would probably never get made if it wouldn't be for the early access, because games like that are just too inherently complex, and there needs to be a dedicated community that gives it a shot early on in order for the developers to work with that data. There's a reason why Larian already announced that they'll use early access again for their next game. It's not because they need the money. It's because games at this level of complexity aren't just something that you work on in solitude and can release if you have like 100 people play it during development. Just mathematically, that wouldn't be enough scale in order to find all the issues given the complexity of the systems. Not to mention that it's impossible to judge how players would react to the delicate balance required. I'd say just stick with developers that have a proven track record. If they've shipped multiple high-quality titles before and are doing an early access, it's probably for this exact reason. And that's like a quote tweet. So then Sven Vinke responds, 100%. Games that are successfully come out of early access prove that when players and devs unite around something they can genuinely care about, beautiful things happen. It's a positive thing, even if there are negative examples. Don't let those overshadow the good ones. So I just thought that was really important, because this is a shining example of like everything went right with early access.
Yeah.
So that's the first game we're going to talk about. Are you good? Do you feel good about early access? I'm about to make it worse slowly over time.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to, because I'm excited to have the discussion about early access, because I have many thoughts.
Now let's move on to the bad. And the bad is a game called Godus. Have you heard of Godus?
No.
Okay. So I'm using mainly a PC Mag and a PC Gamer article for this whole section. So this is Peter Molyneux. Remember him? Remember Peter Molyneux?
Oh, man. Yeah.
He created games like Populous, Black and White, Fable, which I know you and I both love. All sorts of important video games. Well, he and his studio, 22 Cans, got into some hot water for a game called Godus. This was 2012, and it actually predated the Steam early access Greenlight, like Project Greenlight system. So it was actually kickstarted. That's how they did it.
So kind of same thing, but not officially done through Steam early access.
Exactly, yeah. So Godus was advertised in interviews by Molyneux as a spiritual successor to Populous. And this game is pretty excited. because like the God game genre is pretty popular. I think we talked about Black and White or maybe Dungeon Keeper. Did I finally do an episode on Dungeon Keeper? I can't remember.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about some of these games.
Yeah, I definitely played Dungeon Keeper to do an episode, and now I have no memory of doing it. So let's see. I don't know. I'll look later. But so this is from PC Mag, quote, after taking in around $800,000 in pledges for the PC version and releasing a version on early access, Molyneux took his team and put it to work on the mobile version, leaving the game people had actually paid for to stagnate. So that's the first problem.
Okay, so they were, yeah, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, so there's also, I realize now I didn't grab the full name of this game, but at the same time this is going on, like roughly the same, maybe like a year or two later, like 2013, 2014, 2013, because the prize was won in 2013. So there was a game that came out by 22 Cans that involved the Curiosity Cube, which was this mysterious world, like everyone was challenged to like break this cube. And supposedly the prize inside was game changing. This is actually probably something we could do as an entirely different episode, this whole Curiosity Cube challenge, because it's really interesting and it has a lot of layers to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just gonna say that's another thing that happened. So the winner would have their life changed forever, according to Molyneux. And what that meant was they won godhood in Godus.
What does
now,
that
what does
mean?
godhood mean? Godhood means that you would get a profit share of the game and you would get to decide things in the game, like how systems work in the game.
So you get to do Peter Molyneux's job for him if you win this contest.
Yeah,
wow.
And there's a guy
named profit sharing
Brian,
makes it worthwhile.
Profit sharing makes it worth it, but there's a guy named Brian Henderson who won the prize in 2013, and like I said, there's a whole subplot here. We could talk about this and how he won and what happened, but TLDR, Henderson never gets to achieve godhood. It never happens because Godus gets put on the back burner for two other 22 Cans games, the studio. So the first they try to make a game, they announced a game called The Trail in 2015, and they hyped that all up. And then they announced another Godus game called Godus Wars with completely different gameplay.
The first game's not even out yet. Godus is not out. It's Godus, not Goddess, like a female god.
Yeah, it's Godus. Yeah. So Godus Wars, by the way, completely different game. Not the same. And you can tell it's bad because I found a Rock, Paper, Shotgun article from this time, and the title is just, "Oh, Godus, what the hell is going on?" That's the name of the article. So Peter Molyneux keeps promising development updates on Godus and Godus Wars, but they never come to fruition, and he's doing this all the way up until 2021. And in 2021, the last Godus update was 2015.
So 6 years later, he's like, yeah, we're still working on it, guys. Still working on it. They're like, are you going to update it at all with anything? He's nah.
And I should mention, like, the reason this is bad to me is there's playable versions of the game. So at least you can play the game. But what happens is in 2023, Godus and Godus Wars are both removed from Steam because the Studio 22 Cans says this had to do with a change to Amazon Web Services, so they couldn't run the game anymore. But the game is still available on iOS and Android. Like I checked, and
so
Godus is still on iOS
servers
for
on
free.
iOS and Android. I want to look this game
I guess.
up now.
I mean, again, the whole Amazon Web Services thing is a pretty weak.
Yeah, you can
argument. Like, I think there's something else going on.
Yeah.
Like, just from the outside looking in, you're like, okay, you're using the excuse of Amazon. Like, it's not us. It's this third party thing we use for our backend.
Yeah,
like,
gosh,
okay.
There's just nothing you can do about that. God, there's no way you could like migrate to a different backend. Like, it's just impossible.
Yeah, right. So I should also mention, like, I don't want to sit here and like say Godus is a bad video game. Apparently, the game has 4.6 stars on the App Store, on the iOS App Store. Like, I looked on my phone. But I don't know if it's
like,
good.
I kind of want to buy it now. Maybe it's a good game.
No, it's free. It's free.
Oh.
It's a free game. It's microtransactions.
Oh.
So, yeah, this is me doing like my typical call to action, by the way. If you've ever played Godus or know more about Godus, you could email us at codexhistorypodcast@gmail.com because I'm curious. I never played this game when it came out. I didn't want to put it on my phone because in general, I just don't keep up with phone games. Like the only phone game I play is Pokemon Go, and I struggle to remember to play it. You know what I mean?
I used to think that I could make a phone my main like portable handheld system, and I don't know, there's something about it being a phone just makes it not work.
Yeah, right. It just feels like there's so much. I mean, because I think for me personally, this is a tangent, by the way. You can press that button. That's the move right there. For me personally, I associate my phone with texts and emails and social media, and those three things frustrate me a lot at times. So I don't want to touch my phone.
Yeah.
Like, to me, playing a video game is like, take my phone, throw it
it's
over
like
there,
a separate thing.
and then I play video games on my PC. Yeah, which is the dream. I think maybe you might be the same way.
Play games on PC. But I mean, I got my Retroid and my Thor as well, and those are just Android phones with controllers attached to them. Like that's the thing about it.
When you attach a controller to it, it's totally different.
Totally different. But you can attach a controller to your phone too. So I'm like,
no, it's totally different.
It really is. Like I have like I've gone through this, like trying to convince myself so often. I'm like, you just put a controller on it. It's the same thing. And for some reason, I just can't do it, man.
That's so funny too, because like 12-year-old me would have had my mind blown.
Yeah.
That I have a Game Boy in my pocket at all times, and I'm not playing it all the time.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like the curse of adulthood.
Wow. Yeah.
Like there's like too much stuff going on this thing for me to want to actually use it.
I'm like, throw it across the room when it's game time. It's game time. That's the only games I play on my phone are. I don't play games on my phone, honestly.
I've heard dude, yeah, I played Hearthstone for a bit. I liked Hearthstone.
Hearthstone was fun. Yeah, I played that for a little bit.
Hearthstone was fun, but yeah, I kind of, and I play Wild Rift sometimes. Still.
Yeah, that's true. I do that sometimes. Like I won't say I play no games on my phone, but
yeah, but it's very few and far between. But yeah, so that was our good tangent. That felt right. That felt like a good, appropriate tangent. So I'm just curious about Godus. So if you ever played it, codexhistorypodcast@gmail.com, or go on our Discord and be like, Mike, you got it all wrong.
This game
Godus
is awesome, and it's
the best game ever made.
Tragedy
game of the year.
That it never really came out.
Game of my life is what you could say. Really
Some say this person is still playing Godus to this day.
It's true. They actually threw all their systems in the garbage just the moment they started loving Godus. But yeah, so I'm calling this an example of bad, like I said before, because the game was playable for a while on Steam, and because it's still playable on like iOS and Android, it's not gone. But the point of this is there was no communication, right? It was kind of like we took your money and then we didn't tell you what we were doing. And you need this for early access to work. You have to have a transparent communication with the people that are paying for this game, right? I would say it's not ugly because you got the phone game, but I also think, and this is a classic example of, and Peter Molyneux, I think it's safe to say, he's known on the internet for over promising and under delivering.
That is a fact.
Right. And that is something that came up with Godus, and early access was just a part of it. All right. Are you ready for our example of the worst one?
Yeah. This
Vapor. One's great. Oh, I forgot to have you look at, I'll post these pictures to the Discord. I've grabbed screenshots because this game looks terrible. Okay. So this game is called Earth, and I realized I got the game wrong. It's Earth Year 2066.
Okay.
So that's the name of the game. And we don't have a lot on this because, well, that's kind of the point. In fact, most of what I'm pulling is from random Steam forum comments of people talking about it still, because they're like, how did this happen? Now, Earth Year 2066 got into Steam through Project Greenlight, which is something we might want to talk about. That's a whole
like Matt Damon
separate debacle.
Didn't he have a TV show called Project Greenlight?
He might have.
It was about making indie movies, I think.
Well, Project Greenlight was about making indie games on Steam, and it became this. It's a good story in itself because it became a system for people to scam people out of money, and this is one of those examples of that. And Project Greenlight started in 2013 and it ended in 2017, and there were definitely clues, right? So the game looks pretty terrible, and I've included pictures of what the game looked like.
Yeah, you mean like just graphically it looks.
Yeah. What I'm saying is this game looks like someone took Fallout New Vegas and put like a blurry filter on it. That's what it looks like to me. The graphics are really bad. The game was really buggy. Looking it up on SteamDB, there were only 4 patches ever done for the game in April 2014. That's the only time it was worked on, were those 4 patches.
Wow.
And the game cost $20 in early access.
Did it have any have any traction? Did it make any money with that 20? Like,
yes.
Okay.
Because so again, a lot of this is internet drama speculation, right? So there is like a thought behind this that the developers, and this is allegedly, you have to say allegedly, were having their friends make Steam accounts and post positive reviews and then deleting negative reviews. And they would go on for their forums and they would delete the negative posts. So they were very much trying to like push a positive narrative on this game. And I believe Steam's done some stuff to change that since then. Like Steam's changed a lot since 2013, obviously. But it's definitely something that is questionable, I would say. So
yeah,
I have to say allegedly. I don't
allegedly.
want to.
We don't know. We don't know for sure. Nothing was ever proven in a court of law.
Exactly. And also my understanding is the person that did this was mildly litigious is the word I was looking for, you know? So I don't really want to like go too far into it. I'm actually kind of looking right now, and this is me being, oh, okay. So this is the thing. I'm looking at my internet history. There's a guy. This is what I mean by Steam forums, because I didn't like. There's nothing on this game. Like there's a YouTube video we're going to talk about in a second, but this is the timeline of events according to someone on the Steam forums from May 2014. Silly Billy wrote, I'm going to change the name. Developer makes a dump, puts his dump on Greenlight. It gets through Greenlight so easily, not sure why. Goes on sale at $20. Many people get burned. Many people tell Valve. Developer yucks it up. Jim Sterling has a go, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Developer gets salty. Many people talk to developer. Developer gets mad. Valve eventually shows up, takes the game down. Developer's in the wind, and then refunds are actually offered by Valve, which is kind of rare for Valve to issue a refund.
Yeah, because that's
blankly.
That's the whole deal with early access is that like this is kind of a risk. So like we're not refunding. That's like the point.
And then the big thing about, we'll get to the refunds later, but I want to jump to the part I just mentioned about the YouTuber. So the game was so bad that it caught the attention of the Jimquisition. Have you heard of the Jimquisition?
I'm very familiar with the Jimquisition. In fact, I did the opening credits for the Jimquisition about 12 years ago.
Wow, we have a celebrity in our midst.
Yeah, everybody. I did the opening credits. Well, more than 12 years ago now. It's like I did that one, and I did an updated version about 12 years ago.
I would love to have them on the podcast. I would try to get them on the podcast.
Yeah,
because I love independent journalist, does not care, completely goes for it, and I'm all about that. And I feel like you need that too in an industry like this one.
Yeah,
you
they
need
still make
someone
videos.
that's gonna.
I haven't kept up.
They do. They like monthly. They make videos. So check out the Jimquisition though on YouTube. So it might be different named now.
I think it's still called Jimquisition.
It's called the Jimquisition. But yeah, so they made a video about this game, and that's like my primary source was watching their video and then reading Steam forums. And it got pretty bad that they actually started like feuding with the developers about this game. And they claimed the developers took down negative posts, like allegedly claimed all that and ignored everyone. And they also mentioned that they wiped the entire forum at one point, so there was no evidence. The developer did, and they changed the name of it to the Troll Tavern, which just sounds like a whole thing. But it got so bad, like I said, that Steam actually intervened. Valve intervened and offered a small window where players could get refunds for the game in 2014. Now, note I say window. It was not permanent. It was like, if you are paying attention and you are mad, you can get a refund for this game. And then we will close the refund window. Then the game was completely removed from Steam permanently. So this is the worst example of early access. This is a pretty blatant cash grab. And I'm calling it vapor because we only ever got what I would describe as a very bad demo of this game. There was no plot. From what I watched, you would grab a gun and shoot robots. It was very buggy. The animations were really like jagged, like things would like frames would jump around. It just all the assets were from the Unity asset store. Like this is kind of where it
feels scammy. It feels like they never really intended to actually do anything with this.
Exactly. And this might be like one of the first kind of big examples we have of the term asset flipping, where it's like something you got to look out for in the indie space where people just make a game, but they pull everything from the asset store and they just try to put it together really quick to try to make money. So
yeah, I don't buy games. I buy games on, especially indie games, like on recommendation at this point. Like I don't just like see a game that looks cool because there's a lot of garbage out there.
There is. And the best is if you could find ones like, for me, this is a good topic too, like things to look for. If you're like want to play an indie game that excites you, like a lot of them offer demos. So check out the demo. Like I just did one yesterday called Dungeon Lurker that I'm actually kind of excited about. It's like a beat 'em up dungeon crawler kind of thing, and it felt really cool. And it's a roguelike because of course it's a roguelike. Every game on Steam is a roguelike now. But it was really fun, and it seems like it's a solo developer, and there's also a weird thing going on. I guess I'm doing my what I played segment early, but that's fine. But yeah, so I just kind of want to talk about these three things because here's my kind of thought process, and then we can talk about it together, Tyler.
Okay.
Now that I've bummed everyone out. In a perfect world, I think early access is great. Like Larian Studios proved it.
Yeah.
Minecraft proved it. There's many other examples too of like positive examples of early access. It allows smaller developers to develop complex video games while interacting with players and also keeping their funding going, because a lot of the time they're just small like teams of people, you know? Like I think Baldur's Gate 3 has even said they're going to fund Divinity with early access, which is their next title. Unfortunately, it's not Baldur's Gate 4. We all wanted it, but that's fine. So the problem is we don't live in a perfect world, and early access in the wrong hands can be used as a tool to like scam people, which I think you can say a lot about. A lot of things on the internet are like that, right?
Yeah.
Like in the wrong hands, it's supposed to be, I mean, look at crypto. Like cryptocurrency was supposed to be this thing that was like everyone's like a decentralized currency, right? And then it became used as a
Super
way to
scammy.
scam people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, and it's the same kind of thing. So I think it's one of those things you want to be careful about. And then, so we have the three examples here, which are like Godus, like, which is like the not as bad form, where I feel like Peter Molyneux had good intentions, but it was just over promising and under delivering. And they jumped from one project to another and struggled to deliver what they initially promised in that Kickstarter campaign that made $800,000. Like, I don't think the second example is malicious necessarily. It could be, but I don't think it is. I think it could just be development. Like, development's hard.
Yeah.
Game develop is not easy. And especially when you have people that are first-time game developers and they have a great idea and they kickstart it, and then they're just like, now I have all this money, what do I do? It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
Peter Molyneux, though, is not a first-time game developer when he did Godus.
he should be not given that excuse. You're correct. He knows better. But in Godus's case, they were just jumping projects, though.
Yeah, and he seems like a kind of person that can't like stay connected to a project. And if you're taking the money meant for one project, especially given by the fans for that project, and then using it on another project, that is where it gets pretty scummy.
For sure.
It's like, especially when none of those projects ever came out.
Yeah, it's like the concept of an idea man. Yeah. Like, I'm an idea man. Like, I got all these ideas, and then you don't follow through on any of them.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, which is a bummer, because I mean, this guy made Fable, Black and White, Dungeon Keeper, all these crazy games that we all love, and it's just like, yeah. So I don't know how I feel about it, Tyler. I think it's in the right hands, it's good, but there's so many bad examples too. I think if you just need to be careful if you
it's a gamble.
In an early access game. It's a gamble.
It's a gamble. You got to understand that you are not paying for a game. You're paying for the promise of a game, or not even the promise of a game. You're paying for like what the developer the best that you can hope for is that the developer actually intends on delivering this game, and that they will. But when you're paying for it, you're paying assuming that they are intending to deliver on it, right? But they may not, and you just got to be okay with that, which is sort of part of the early access thing. Yeah. The way I see it, so when it comes to me, like when I want to get a game in early access, I almost never do it because I understand who's the guy up that we were reading the tweet of, Thomas Mahler, when he's like, hey, look, this game is so complicated that you can't QA test it like effectively. I understand that, and I think he's totally right. Where I got on a game like Baldur's Gate is that because it's so story heavy, I don't want to be spoiled of the story. Baldur's Gate's a little bit different because there's so many different ways to play it. So many, like all kinds of like, you can really go down a lot of rabbit holes. So that when the game finally comes out, you're not necessarily done with it. You're just like still playing through and doing like, because we have friends who like still do Baldur's Gate playthroughs. They like do them a little differently every single time. Like they've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours playing the game. And if they had spent a lot of that time in early access helping to shape it, they probably would have also like had a good time there as well. But like, I'm starting to think of like, if a game like Last of Us goes into early access, I'm like, I don't want to play that game early. I don't want to be a part of the development of that game. I want to play it when it's finished, because the story and like the novelty and being surprised by it is a huge part of the game. Not saying that Last of Us went into early access, but like that's the kind of game I absolutely do not. The other kinds of games that that I sort of get is like the live service game of like, this is going to be a free to play game. But we're not ready to release it yet. But we need like lots of help testing it. Early access on that is like, okay, you pay a little bit of money. Sometimes they'll give you like a founder's pack of like points or whatever. That I kind of get. Where I get the thing that really gets me about early access games is when they like, you pay for the early access and then they also have like a cash shop, like a microtransaction shop.
Yeah.
Like, look, if your game's not out yet, do not be doing microtransactions. Like, your game's not done yet. Don't charge people for things. Like, just don't. You charge them for access, and that's it. That's how I see that. Like, that feels really scummy because it becomes this like shield for developers to hide behind, where they can, when bugs happen or when players have complaint, they can go, it's early access. What did you expect? It's early access.
Yeah.
The game's not done yet. It's early access. It's early access. It's like, well, by a certain amount of logic, like every live service game is like not finished, right? So you could put that early access label on anything. It's like, at a certain point, you thought it was good enough to charge for microtransactions. That's when the game's done. That's when the game's out, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah,
So,
I agree with you. That's true. I didn't even think about the story aspect of that. That's totally
like, that's big reason why I wouldn't have wanted to do Baldur's Gate early access.
And that's why I played once and I never played it again.
Right, because you didn't want to get spoiled. And so, like,
Yep.
okay, so you helped them figure things out for Act 1, I guess, by either directly giving them feedback or at least your telemetry data.
I think the one thing about Baldur's Gate 3 that was cool is I feel like I was helping because, like I said, they were tracking everything.
Yeah,
they were tracking my choices. They were tracking everyone's choices. They were like, what do people like? What do people don't like? And like, what is breaking? What is not breaking? And I think that was the cool factor of it, is I felt like I was a part of this thing.
Yeah. But you deliberately didn't play further into the game, even though that data would have been very helpful for them too.
Yeah, I mean, Act 1 was all that.
Oh, they only ever did Act 1.
I played through Act 1 and it stopped, and then Acts 2 and 3 did not come out until the game came out.
Oh, okay.
Which was kind of nice because that allowed them to like actually, like get the systems in place.
Yeah.
And get the bugs out of the systems, and then the rest of the story was like hidden from view.
Okay.
And you had no idea.
That's kind of cool. And a game as big as Baldur's Gate, like if you just play through Act 1, you're not like ruining it for yourself.
No, yeah, and you're not actually, because they don't really reveal what's truly going on until the end of, or in Act 2, I should say.
Okay. Well,
So-
and I'm glad that they were able to get like the data that they needed to make a good game then, based off of early access. And also they released the game, like it eventually came out. It was highly acclaimed. Like it was, I'm pretty sure it was Game of the Year at the Game Awards that year. Or
It was.
Yeah.
It
So
won a lot of awards.
yeah. So it was like, yeah, they did it right. I still don't think I would have paid for early access on that game.
No, that's fair. It's totally fair. I was also D&D obsessed at the time because it was like COVID. I had COVID, so I was like really into it.
Yeah.
I was like losing my mind a little bit, reading all those books over there behind me. But yeah, so I like early access in the right hands, I think is the big
it's not
thing for it.
I wouldn't blanket say early access is bad. It is not a plus for me. Like when I see a game is in early access, I go like, that is a negative for me. It doesn't mean I won't participate, but it doesn't help that game. I go,
With
okay,
that
I'm going to wait till
said-
it's done.
With that said, Mike and Tyler's Grand Adventure, the game I've been developing for 10 years, is in early access right now.
Yeah. It's me. I paid $10,000 for it.
Mm-hmm. It's in the MySpace Games store.
They're bringing MySpace back. Did you hear that? Like
They are?
there's like a group of investors. Not Tom's not involved, but they want to
Oh,
bring
Tom.
MySpace back as like the anti-algorithm social media. Guess we'll see how it goes.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I'm fine with it. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think it will not do well because I think as much as people hate the algorithm, I think the algorithm works.
It's what makes people addicted.
Yep,
It's
it's what
what
makes
gets
people
people in.
addicted. They'll go on MySpace. They in theory they will like it, but they will scroll for a little bit on MySpace and they'll go okay, and then they'll get off and they'll go back to their other thing that's feeding new dopamine. They'll go back to TikTok, which is just new always. Anyway,
What do you think Tom's up to?
oh he got several $100 million in the sale of MySpace, and then he just like jetpacked out of here. He's like he's living his best life on a
Sweet,
yacht,
right.
taking photos. He did the thing, the thing that people say when they're like, man, if I had $100 million, you'd never see me again. That's what Tom did. He has $100 million and we never saw him again.
That's genius. Good for you, Tom. Hey, look at the camera. Great job, Tom.
Great job, Tom. Yeah, he
Nice.
I think he has an Instagram account. He like takes photos. He's like a photographer so like he's out just living it up because he can go on vacation forever. And he just takes
You
photos.
think he was just like, oh man, I gotta get an Instagram account? Oh, that's too funny. All right, well, Tyler, what have you been playing this week?
This
What
week,
you been doing?
I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't remember if I said that last week or not.
I don't know if you did either.
But I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I finished the Intergrade DLC with Yuffie, and now I am 7 hours into Rebirth. And that's it. I'm just like really making headway on Rebirth. I did yesterday spend a lot of time reading a fiction book, hardcover book, physical book, Traces of Two Pasts, which is Tifa and Aerith. They like
it's
both
a Final Fantasy book?
Yeah, so it's a Final Fantasy book. Yeah, it takes place between Remake and Rebirth, but it's both of them sort of telling the rest of the group like their life story, their like the story of them growing up and stuff. So I read the whole Tifa part yesterday and like half of Aerith's part, and so now I just have to finish that book today. It's like 400 pages. I really sat and like read for like 6 straight hours yesterday. It was crazy. I've never done that.
Wow. I was gonna say, we haven't actually joined John Halo on his adventures.
I know.
Recently.
We have not played Halo in over a week, probably.
We like to call him John Halo, by the way. I know people don't know that. It's like an energy beam sword situation thing again, but I'm going to call him John Halo because it's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, well, that's why they named it Halo, is after John Halo.
After John Halo,
yeah.
Founder of Halo.
John Halo, founder of Halo.
Did you know that the ice cream Halo top based on Halo?
Mm-hmm. Did you know the Beyonce song Halo based on John Halo's life?
Do you think Beyonce plays Halo? I would hope so.
I hope so. Her and Jay-Z just playing co-op split screen.
They probably play, what's that mode on Reach where it never ends? The Horde mode.
Yeah, Firefight, I think.
Firefight, yeah. They play that probably.
Yeah.
That's great. Nice, dude. Well, I've been playing some of that Dungeon Lurker game I was talking about. Also, Dungeon Lurker's got the cool thing going on that Tunic had, where there's like an instruction booklet in the game, and there's something else. There's something else happening that we don't know what it's happening, which is pretty cool. And then I'm playing some Battlefield 6, actually.
Okay.
Because I just been like, it's kind of, again, like weirdly a cozy game for me. I just play it by myself, have YouTube on, digging that.
Yeah, just come back to it.
Jurassic World Evolution 3 came out with a DLC, but I refused to pay full price for it, so I'm waiting for it to go on sale.
Yep.
And then, other than that, though, man, big announcement. I'm going to be gone next week.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to have a re-release. I should just tell people now.
All right.
Like, we're going to be... I'm in Alaska. That's where my family lives. I'm sorry, everybody. I can't record there. They actually cap internet. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Its own plan.
Yeah,
it's kind of wild.
That's wild.
So, yeah.
Cool.
But they don't cap it. Like, it doesn't stop. It just costs way more money. Like, they just charge you way more money. I don't want to do this with my brother. So,
yeah.
With that, though, things you can do to support us. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, I had one more game. I did put several hours into Final Fantasy IX last weekend as well.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Final Fantasy IX, though.
Yeah, I got it running on my Thor as well, because I have a specific set of mods, like one that just like kind of makes graphics a little better, a widescreen mod, make it run at 60 FPS, skip some of the like superfluous animation stuff, just make it a little faster, a speed up mod, that kind of stuff. Like I'm not changing the content of the game, but just making it a little bit more quality of life, bearable stuff. And then I got all that stuff running on my Thor, so pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, the game native on Thor, or like in my case, a Retroid is pretty sweet.
Game native on Android is pretty much, it's a game changer. There's a few different PC emulator things, but dude, Retroid on Retroids, and I think on Thor too, you can actually install a version of SteamOS now, like just straight up SteamOS.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's not quite. There's like a lot of bugs. There's like it's not quite ready for prime time, but there's a world where we get rid of Android and we just run SteamOS on our handhelds.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
To make and Valve, I feel like would be cool with that. They'd be like,
they did. The reason that there's been a big jump in it is because their Steam Frame, their new VR headset that's coming out, it's just an Android device. It runs a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, I think. And they just released their SteamOS stuff that's like, hey, here's what makes SteamOS run on this. And so then the community for all these other Snapdragon devices is just like, cool, well, we can modify that and make it run on anything else. And Valve's like, cool, I don't care.
That's sweet, dude.
Yeah.
It's like we'll have our own Steam Decks soon.
Yep.
Our own cheaper, smaller Steam Decks.
Yep.
Portable Steam Decks.
That's the dream.
Portable Steam Deck? It's already portable. This is crazy. Okay.
I mean, it's not exactly pocketable.
Yeah, it's pretty big. So with that, though, things you can do to support the podcast. Let's talk about that, right? So you can tell your friends about us. You can give us a positive review on wherever you listen to us. That's always helpful. Codexpodcast.net is our website. It's got all our links on there. Our Discord, our email contact, our Trello board so you can see what Tyler and I are playing currently. If you care about that kind of thing, you can judge us if you want to. And with that, though, Tyler, would you like to say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.